There it goes. Yeah, I'm hearing me now too.
Correct.
There we go. Hi. Yeah, there we go.
Wow.
Yep.
No, you're not. Take that back. That's all right. Oh, oh.
It wants to be as a unicorn.
I am a motherfucking unicorn.
All right. Yeah. As you all know, Baldur's Gate 3 took the war by storm just within a month ago. Not even, right? Like it has hit the ground running, and let me tell you, it is loaded with so much to do. The RPG elements are right up there with the top games of all time. The amount of things to do in this game, top, I think, any game I've played like RPG wise that has this much like powerful like graphics and gameplay like animations that you could possibly do, because there's better games, like better actual RPG games with a lot more to do out there, but like you're talking 8-bit games, you're talking, you know, cell shaded games, and this game is just, it's taking the world by storm, and it's changing the industry. Developers are going to have to actually release games that are like finished. Like they're gonna have that, they're gonna actually have to put out product that's finished at this point and not just microtransaction pay to play stuff. Like you don't see that in this game. It's 100% a complete game, and it's a lot of fun. For my, they've already, and, yeah, and they're already patching those in. It's nothing game breaking that I've come across so far. You're talking about your character gets caught up on like a random bench or chair or door, and then you switch to another character, you go somewhere, you can just teleport them, whatever. You can. It's nothing game breaking that I've run into so far, and I'm sure there'll be patches here and there. Um, they've already had one pretty giant patch that fixed a lot of issues. Um, yeah, the classes are great, the customization's great. The dialogue's great, the voice acting is fantastic. I'm running the paladin for my stream playthrough, and it's been really fun. And I just recently started another ranger playthrough um
Of course.
with a few friends outside of, you know, and that was a lot of fun doing it with multiple people, and it's it's literally like it's gonna, I think it's gonna go down as it, this is bias. I think it's gonna go down as like top 10 games of all time. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah. Now, um, probably around 10 hours. Yeah. Well, me and you did a couple hours unsuccessfully, and then, and then I've you can absolutely kill characters easily. Um,
He was
yeah,
literally only 5% there.
but,
He was stuck in a portal. Yep. Yep.
oh, and just the how all your choices are permanent unless I mean, you could go back and,
Reload
reload
the
your save,
save.
but come on, I mean and I mean, in certain situations I get, but, you know, yeah, I like the whole perma death, perma decision style. I don't like changing what I've done. I don't know, because that's not the point. You can't do that in regular D&D. Why would you do it in this? But
I mean, you can cast Revivify, but you've got to have a big ass diamond.
Absolutely loved it. Like, out of all the like D&D style RPGs that I've played, including Divinity, Original Sin 2, Baldur's Gate tops them all.
And Neverwinter.
Yeah, I've never played Neverwinter.
I played it
That was
once.
that, that was one of those that we me, Jay, and another friend of ours talked about playing and just never haven't gotten around.
Yeah, I have it on my
Uh
box somewhere, but I don't ever play it.
yeah.
um, honestly, probably
Give somebody a penis. I was just I saw the wheels turning, man. I saw the hamster and everything.
hide close penis E boom. No, no. It's funny how I know the exact option I pick on all my characters. No, probably would be hair, um, facial hair in different style, and you could do like highlights, grays. Like you can go in pretty good detail. Like for the paladin I'm running in our offline with a couple buddies. Well, I have a paladin with a like mohawk, like a freaking fiery red mohawk that actually has like a flame design in it. And like he has like a big beard, and the inside the beard, I did the highlights to where it also looks like a flame design. It's freaking cool, yeah.
I'm gonna agree with Jay with the hair and the facial hair. Like, a lot of games just have this generic hairstyles to them or what's trending, and then you can only do like certain colors or stuff like basic colors with the hair. You really can't do much with it. Baldur's Gate, I think, is like, other than Starfield and Cyberpunk 2077, those three games actually have highlights and different things they can actually do with the hair. And yeah, yeah, it's just straight up, yeah, download from the store.
And another thing I have is like body types that you can choose from for certain
Yeah,
classes and races. Um, and that makes a huge difference. And like, all right, so and then like let's say you have a ranger, you could have a big bulky ranger if you wanted to. You could have a big bulky sorcerer if you wanted to, and that's kind of neat because I mean, let's be real, like a big bulky human, yeah, wizard just walking front through the door, kicking it in, pretty freaking badass. It's a little intimidating, and he throws a
Man,
fireball at you. I
oh
mean, it's like,
man, I'm out of spells. I guess I have to do this the old school way.
yeah.
Um,
And then
except he's
Greg
like,
had
I
actually
cast fist.
Greg
You
made a
know?
tiefling the other night, a tiefling barbarian, and his little war paint, like his little face paint, like it looked sick, like it looked like terrifying. I haven't tried any mods yet. I'm sure I'll do it at some point. I'm just trying to enjoy the base game as is. I don't want to, because with those mods also can come bugs that you know. Yeah. So I want to try base game first.
Fallout 4 when you launch too many nukes.
Man, I actually a couple years
I found
back,
that out the hard way.
I actually did a Frosty mod version of Mass Effect Andromeda, and it made the game amazing. Like it actually made the game fun and great.
Hmm.
It fixed the shitty facial animations they had. Frosty mods, yeah, Frosty mods. You can go and choose your own mods out of it and kind of set it other way, but it made the game actually worth playing. I will say that. Yeah.
Well, like that was the thing I was gonna kind of bring up about Baldur's Gate was there's this the thing that I love it from the storytelling standpoint is like it works like you would be doing whenever you're playing 5e. I mean, it you can choose your backgrounds, your classes, your all of that, and all of that stuff plays into your story. Like all of it. Like I was watching you guys play, and they were mentioning stuff like, "Oh yeah, you're that rogue," or "Hey, oh yeah, you're that barbarian," or "Yeah, you're that that badass guy that's and they'd be like they actually bring up your background. Like you look like a shady character. Like if you chose the the thief background, and or you look like you're pretty high and mighty if you were a noble. Like I've noticed that kind of stuff. Like it actually kind of it literally just weaves itself into the story, and I think that that's like an amazing thing that they were able to capture like within the game. It kind of like takes all that and just literally plays it into it like a DM would.
He's
And
right. One of the really like key elements to this game during, especially during dialogue, like mainly during dialogue, is like you're from Baldur's Gate, you're a Baldarian. So like whenever someone else from Baldur's Gate like is talking to you, and you get that certain option that highlights, oh, the Baldarian option, like relate to them, or like let's say you're put in a position whether you let someone live or die, like someone innocent live or die, but you're a paladin, so like it's like if you kill them, you're
yeah,
gonna break
you
your
know,
oath. But
yeah,
if you select the
you're
option under
literally
paladin or whatever, like that's you following your deity, you following your faith, and that's a really nice touch the way they did all that.
pretty much, man. So one of the other things that I thought was, I mean, one of the other things that I really love is the fact that they actually have like a narrator that's in the game, and kind of, and Amelia Tyler. I
It's the
mean,
same. It's the
I mean,
same narrator that played Milady in Divinity 2, by the way.
right?
Like, yeah, it's the same voice actress.
Really?
Yep,
Yeah,
that's
Huh.
who's
Amelia
narrating.
Tyler, man, and dude, but she's just, I mean, she's just spot on, like freaking amazing, like all throughout. And like, there's stuff on TikTok of her like doing her bloopers. Like it comes up in my FYP all the time. It's just, it's just so funny, like listening to her go through there and like all the little mess ups. She's just like, yeah, I admit that this shit happens, and she just kind of rolls with it. And it's some really funny stuff that she. I mean, but the ability for her to do what she does is something that I'm really hoping one day to be able to do. To be able to kind of just bring that kind of pizzazz to a game or to a DM session or to an audiobook or to whatever. Yep.
Yep. Still does.
Oh my
It,
gosh.
it'll probably come to Xbox eventually. Like, I don't think they're
It,
gonna pass on
it's
that opportunity. It's They just
yep.
need to figure out how to condense it.
It's Yeah. I think that right now what they're working on is it doesn't even have to do with the Series X. It's literally all the Series S's problems. The Series S has problems with bit compression and bit rate and stuff.
That's what I was talking
So
about, the compression for the Series S.
right. Mm.
Well, it'll have multiplayer, just not split screen. Like, you can't do local.
That's what I was trying to say is that I mean, like the thing that they were
Yeah.
working on is literally just the split screen, like
Yep.
for the for the multiplayer for people that are doing it local. So like they couldn't for
Uh,
some reason the S is just sitting there like "Durr," and can't freaking figure it out.
Can't hold it.
So it just literally
now,
can't do two screens at the same time like while this game is playing because it's so massive and there's so much
did
going
they
on.
say anything about it being cross-platform? That's one thing I have not
I
seen
don't
about it.
think that's been brought up at all. I don't think that's even a plan for them.
I mean, you can probably we can go.
Oh, yeah, okay, so Larian did confirm that crossplay will be coming to the game eventually. Eventually to the game could mean 3 years because
Yeah.
I mean, let's be for real.
I played it 3 years ago, I can tell you. I played the early access.
Hopefully it does, because I would love to play this with all three of y'all.
Yeah, no
Like,
shit, right?
dear God, the things that we would get into. Oh,
Oh, well, we won't okay, you know what? If it's us 4 playing, it's okay. If it's the 4 of us playing, it's okay because we don't need him.
well,
We don't need him.
I to be honest, I'm probably gonna run a gnome barbarian. I've
Bro,
seen
badass. Bro, badass, yes. And you can get
yeah,
you a big ass
it was
overstick
a
too.
group yeah, it was a group of 4 guys. They all made known
Dark Urge.
barbarians and they were wrecking shit.
Dark Urge.
Yeah. Yeah. And he can actually end the game in Act 3.
He's an evocation wizard, and he's pretty fucking powerful.
Yeah.
That's fucking god. I
To be
mean, he
honest, the
was
option
literally
just to slap
screwing
his
his god.
hand, give him a high five is hilarious.
I didn't know either.
Yep.
You what?
I kinda wish we could have maybe
Like
seen if we
souvenir.
toss it on the ground and
Yeah.
throw a Revify on it or something, if what would have happened.
Oh.
Yeah. He'd probably fucking be so pissed at you, though.
And you're like, oh, it's gonna be like the stranger.
So, spoiler alert.
Wait,
So,
I
spoiler
will
alert with
laugh. I will laugh if you cast Revivify on it, and it's just the hand that comes alive and it moves around like the hand from the Adams Family.
Yay, thing.
Dude, that'd
so,
be awesome.
spoiler alert territory, not to anything like, campaign-wise or anything like story-wise, but there's a bard, female bard that you pick up later in the story, and she's like you offer her to come back to your camp and do all that, and you're like, "Oh, yeah, I'm about to get a bard back in my camp and, rizz her up and actually try and romance her and all that." If you're the Dark Urge, you end up murdering her and dragging her body off in the middle of the night while everyone else is sleeping.
Oh,
And then you wake up and you're just like, you're covered in blood and you're just like, "What?" Like, you blacked out while you did it.
damn.
A little too much fun there. A little too much.
What if you had the Dark Urge and Necromancy?
That
Kill
would be
her and bring her back to life just to see her
Speak with
reaction.
Dead. No, Speak with Dead.
Yeah.
Kill her, speak with Dead, taunt her, be like, "Yeah, I murdered you because, sorry. Bye."
Damn. Uh, Only because I really haven't played that much of it, but I'm also taking in consideration of all the clips that I've seen. I'd probably give it about 4, 4.5.
Oh, man, if I could give it a 4.99 out of 5, I would do it just because of the small issues it has bug-wise right now, if just from being a large game. Um, but, I mean, since I can't, I mean, I'm gonna go a full 5, like, honestly. A full 5. Yeah.
Um, I mean, because of like the amount of gameplay that I've seen, because of the storytelling of it and everything, and because like I'm really one of those people that likes to hold everything kind of back in reserve, I'm probably gonna give it about a 4 out of 5. Just because I think that it still has a little bit of ways to go. Um, and I want to see what else they might be able to do with it. I'm kind of holding myself in reserve on it a little bit. Yeah, I would say.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'd
Yeah.
agree on that. I think a lot of people's opinions on it will change if they ever do go crossplay and if they ever do get it added seamlessly to Xbox. Um, I think I think if the crossplay actually does happen, if they do it eventually, I think it's going to get a resurgence again.
Yeah.
So
Oh wow.
yeah, he's right. I'm checking. Yep.
Yeah, that's because I've been muted this whole time.
That's great.
And I'm the tech guy.
It's been a long week, guys.
It has been a
Come
very
on,
long week.
Jay.
Thank you very much for letting us know about it. So the short version of what I've been running my mouth about is I like Baldur's Gate 3 and I gave it a 4.
And between all of us, it's a solid 4.5.
Solid 4.5. And actually, while you're in here, give you a second to respond to us. Have you yourself had a chance to play Baldur's Gate 3?
That would be the question of the day.
That is the question of the day.
And your audio is back, so you're good.
So he can actually hear you asking the question.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be that's because I'm muted.
Yeah. What's our motto? That didn't work.
Well, that
that
didn't work.
But you know what did work? Have
yeah.
not heard good things. Well, hopefully you get a chance to play it. It really is a game worth checking out. Currently, it's PC and PlayStation, correct?
PS5.
Okay, yeah,
Not
PS5. So if you're on PC or PlayStation, you're definitely
Dear
gonna want to check it
God.
out. But
Check,
what
check
did
the
work?
test on your PC before you buy though.
Yeah, let me
The
tell you what
PS4 would catch fire trying to play that game.
it would. Let me tell you what did work. And Drew is an eyewitness to this. All right, so Frodo, you and I are at work the other day. We're working on putting together picnic tables. We have our
Yeah.
picnic tables stacked up on a blue flat cart. I got one on it. I get on top. We're trying to slide the next one on it. I pulled a Jack
Oh.
Sparrow. I grab
Yeah.
it and I go to pull and start walking, not thinking about what I'm standing on. And I walk to the cart underneath the picnic table.
Picnic table.
Almost all
'Cause,
the
like,
way.
I was lifting up from the other end, getting ready to lift up and push, and he just walks with the cart underneath it. I'm like, wait, what?
And
Did
the
he
whole
just
time,
Jack Sparrow?
in my peripheral, nothing's moving. I'm like, what is happening? Because I see the cart moving. I think I'm moving, but the chain link immediately to my right is not. And I look behind me and I hear him go, "What the hell? Did I just do that?"
If Jesus put together picnic tables.
He'd be me. But so that's the one thing that did work this week. So jumping on to the next topic at hand, Starfield. Now,
Ta-da.
Bacon, you've had a chance to play it on PC, correct?
For 2 hours.
For a couple
I
hours.
still haven't. I still have that live-in with me, and we've been playing nothing but Madden and Baldur's Gate.
Oh my god. Okay. So from the few hours that you have been able to get in and play from the character creation process to where you're at now, what have you thought of it so far?
I have no doubt in my mind I'm gonna put in 1,000 hours on this game. I can
Yeah.
sum it up right there.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
so I played the opening. And apparently there's different openings too. Like you start. It's kind of like the cyberpunk kind of. You choose your background or whatever. Because I started in like this little mine shaft area where I actually was.
I think everybody
that's where we
starts
started.
in the mine shaft.
Everybody starts there. I thought Priest. I thought
Yeah.
we were talking about. I thought you did not.
No. So you know how you said you're easily gonna put 1,000 hours in? I had
Mhm.
over 60 hours in 3 days.
So you kind of didn't remember or didn't think about it whenever you said that? Because remember you said you didn't start where I started, like in the mining tunnels.
I was on my second playthrough. I was on New Game
Oh,
Plus.
oh,
Yeah.
New Game
Kind of.
Plus, that's not where
oh.
you start.
Well, look at me not knowing my stuff already. No, but just from that level alone, just from the opening, the game's gonna be great. Like I'm not worried about not playing it right now. I know I'm gonna put a bunch of hours into it. I don't need to
Right.
play it as it's hyped. I will probably start playing it at some point this week if I get a couple hours, here and there. But yeah, the game looks amazing. The ship creation is what I spent the most
Dear
time with.
God, dude, I've
Shamefully,
seen some
honestly,
things on that.
I played for 2 hours, and about an hour of it was probably me modifying ships that I couldn't even afford. I was just
Yeah.
playing with it, just playing around, see what I could do, and it looks so fun.
Right.
Like gameplay was actually pretty solid for a Bethesda game. Like as far as like combat goes,
Yeah.
like shooting,
Well,
I did not expect that. So
to
much better than Fallout.
to respond to Kind Red, yeah, there was a ton of hype that kind of gave it. They did give it a little bit too much hype, so a lot of people were let down because there were a lot of things that people thought they were going to be able to do, but it had been stuff that was never addressed prior to the game being released until like a day or two before it actually got released. So in that aspect, yeah, a lot of people were very heavily let down. I'm gonna let Frodo and Corvus talk about their experiences with it before I get to mine because
You've kind of ran amok with the game.
I'm sorry, my room
Oh,
my
oh,
roommate
you
just
easily.
nut checked himself.
Buddy, you okay?
Aiden, you okay, buddy?
He was trying to make sure that he wasn't interrupting me. He
Jeez.
wasn't watching.
Ouchie.
There's an ice pack in the freezer.
But anyway, yeah, Kindred, I think it is 100% a Bethesda game, and
Oh,
but I'm telling you, Fallout 76 left me hurt. I bought the
Yeah.
$300 Power Armor Edition,
that hurt
and
everybody.
I played that game for like 5 hours and never played it again because I was just so upset, so disappointed. Like I saw red whenever I booted that game up for the first time and played about an hour. I was so mad that I spent all that money on it, and then I was skeptical about this one,
Yeah,
but I mean, they put out hit after hit. It's like trust the wins, not the losses at this point.
pretty much. Yeah,
I don't know.
It has its issues. I've noticed its issues already, but I think long term
the hell?
they'll patch,
Oh,
and
I just realized.
it's just gonna have so much to do that it won't even matter.
So yeah, I mean, Kindred makes another point. He says, I mean, like, how long has it been since you've actually been back to play it? Because
Oh
it's done a lot of stuff since then, and it's made a lot of additional stuff that it's done to make the
yeah,
game more playable. And Mando can talk about that a little bit.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
like he's gone back into it after they've done the adjustments. I played it a little bit after they've done the adjustments, and I get it that it's still not to me it's still not a very powerful showing for a Bethesda game. But I mean, I think that compared to whenever it first released, I think that it's come a long way from that original release.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, Red, that you're right. It's one of those games that, and instead of just kind of throwing it out there, there's a lot of people like me. I'm a diehard when it comes to Bethesda games. It doesn't to me. It doesn't matter how bad the game might look or what kind of issues it may or may not have. I'm gonna play it even if I am disappointed.
Yeah.
Starfield actually blew my mind uh, once I actually got into the gameplay on it, and I'm glad they stood by it. But again, referencing back to what you're talking about, I wish they didn't hype it up as much as they did because there was a lot of stuff in the game. When it comes to me to talk about it, and I'll get into it, there was a lot of stuff that I was very, very let down about. And Corvus has a few things that I know he was definitely let down about because when we both started playing on the same day, we got the chance to do the early play, and we were in a group chat together while he was doing his stream, and we were talking about the stuff and trying to figure some things out because there was a lot of stuff in the game that they just flat out didn't tell you how to do, and you kind of had to figure it out.
Yeah.
That
The
being
tutorial
said,
on that game is kind of garbage.
yeah,
But
Doorknob, welcome to the channel. Glad you decided to join us tonight.
we are Necroton Knights, and we're a bunch of gamers and
Old school
entertainment
nerds.
guy peoples and old school peoples that like to do games and stuff. So thank you for coming along and joining us for the ride.
Yeah. So Corvus, why don't you go ahead and give everybody
Oh,
your feel on it?
okay.
Give them your take.
So uh, let me tell you a story about how a broke ass man decided to try and get this game for early release. So like, you know, I thought, man, whenever everybody else is sitting there talking about it, and I've been seeing all the little, all the stuff that's coming out and all the new trailers, and everybody's like, man, I can't wait for this, and I'm sitting there going, me either, and I'm like chomping at the bit, and I'm like, what the heck, I can't even get this game. It's like I can't get the early release because it's like $34. I don't have $34. I'm disabled. I can't do all this crap. So then I thought, I was sitting there and I was like, how in the heck am I gonna get this game? And I was like 2 seconds away from trying to get other people and be like, hey, can you have mercy on such a poor soul like me? Yeah, but but that never happened. I was just sitting there and I was like, what else can I do? What else can I do? What else can I do? What am I gonna do? And then I finally just said, you know what, screw it. And I grabbed my freaking jar that you guys have found for me, like of all the change that I had.
Oh,
And I went and I freaking got
so
coin
much.
rollers and I rolled it all up. I went down to the bank. I had $30 in change, and I said, "Take this, please, because I'm about to spend it." And I put it in the bank so I could get on there and I could get the game electronically, and I could get it on my Xbox before the freaking thing came out. That was like 2 days before early release. So anyway, that long story coming down to this even longer diatribe about it, how I actually got to experience the game. Day one release was kind of hectic for everybody because internet being what it is, and people sitting there and like it was supposed to release at 7 p.m. and me and Mando were just kind of sitting there like, "Dadgummit, where the hell is it?" Like we couldn't get the thing to start up. I was like, "Why is it telling me it's not there? What the hell's going on?" I'm like holding my controller, like, "Do something!" And just all of the little technical stuff that we went through just trying to get to this stupid thing. It finally around 7:25 or so, after so many restarts and so many trying, like uninstalling one part of it and reinstalling it, and hopefully this works this time and all this other junk. I finally get into the game, and um, I don't know if I can really say that at that point it was underwhelming. Um, to me, it seemed like a bit of a dry start. You know, whenever you're starting it up and everything, and you're just generic miner number 347, and you're going into the tunnel, and you're walking through there, and they're kind of telling you, hey, go talk to these people, and the AIs are pathing and all that stuff. And I'm thinking about all of this stuff as I'm going through there, like from a gameplay standpoint, from a storytelling standpoint, and everything else. I'm trying to, I'm thinking about all the. Uh-oh, we lost the Frodo,
He's back.
and we got the Frodo back.
I was like, where'd he go?
So like from a storytelling standpoint and from a gameplay standpoint, I'm just sitting there and I'm trying to take all of these things into account. And it just seemed like it started off a little dry to me.
Yeah.
And so as I'm walking through there, and but I mean like the graphics and everything are Bethesda and new gen graphics that I've come to expect from games that are happening nowadays. And so, I mean, spot on, some of the best graphics that I've seen that's come out of a game in quite a while.
Right.
But, like diving into the game, we lost the Frodo again.
I guess he's
Anyway,
figuring that out. I'm assuming.
he'll get
Yeah,
there.
he'll be back.
Um, so, getting into it and trying to understand and trying to, really just grasp, all the different storytelling aspects of it and everything. I think that we have, you know, uh, we have a decent start, and then trying to uh, open up the game more and figure out more about it. Uh, then we end up finding out about Constellation, which I think like the trip fall into Constellation and understanding some of the stuff that happens whenever you're playing through it, when you're getting introduced to Constellation and everything. But it felt like almost like I just kind of tripped and fell into this organization.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't a whole lot of
Yeah.
stuff that helped me really grip that game. Uh,
What Kendra just said
Yeah, I
is
just saw that.
100% true.
Yeah, and everybody looked at it for Xbox games,
Yep.
and let alone Bethesda games of all
Bethesda
people.
graphics for
It
Xbox.
was like, holy shit, this is a Bethesda game.
Yeah, I mean it. So I mean, yeah, the graphics. I mean, like I said, I mean, like they're really. I think they're really good. And there was a couple of times where I literally had to stop my jaw from dropping whenever I'm sitting out there and I'm walking across the surface of a planet and I'm looking up and seeing the stars and I'm trying to remember that I'm not actually out there. My room's dark and everything. You can tell. And so I'm like, damn, that's a night sky. And I'm almost thinking that I'm like in the snow on a planet. And I feel like it's a little cold in my room all of a sudden. Like I'm sitting here and I'm like, gosh, why is it so fucking cold in here? Because I'm sitting here and I'm playing on this, this ice cold planet, and I'm sitting there going, dang, this game's like trying to really immerse me for a second. And then sometimes it'll break that immersion. Like it'll just kind of throw you out of it, like with all the transitions and things like that. With the way that you're able to go from planet to planet, and it's basically just transition screen. Now you're at the other planet, and the travel of it and stuff. That
It's
can
not as immersive as they promised, as far as seamlessly transitioning between planets and
Yeah, a
places.
lot of that stuff was.
Um,
They said it was supposed to be seamless, but they didn't mention until a day or two before that you were going to have that invisible wall, and then you were going to have to move to another part of the planet to get to that part. And that that for me was frustrating because we all thought we were going to have that freedom like in No Man's Sky, where you could free fly everywhere and you can land and you can go and it'll generate as you go. And then a day
like
or two
have
before the game drops, all of a sudden, hey, there are invisible walls that you're going to hit. It's like, wait, that's not what you told us. That's not procedural.
yeah. So I mean, and while I understand that, I mean, a planet is huge, so therefore trying to give everybody a big ass map every time. And literally, like, if you're on a planet and you're able to walk 40 minutes in one direction before you even freaking hit a wall,
Yeah.
I mean, to me that tells me that that's a pretty damn big map, because I mean that's pretty much what you end up doing whenever you're doing GTA or any kind of other map. So I kind of get what they're saying there, but I mean, really and truly, it's gonna what it's gonna come down to for me is what they're able to do with. Let me see what we got here. What's Tulip saying?
That's
Yeah,
true.
walk.
Someone it did take someone finding it after literally stealing the game for that to get out. But
yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually
Yeah.
more than 20 minutes. I think they said they went for almost a solid 40 minutes, almost double that, almost 40 minutes before they hit the wall. And which, I mean, don't get me wrong, 40 minutes walking or running in any direction for a video game is
Yeah.
still pretty impressive. I mean, that's
And
a
you
distance.
and you can travel from planet to planet in your ship without
You
jumping.
can. I actually
It
watched
takes
it.
about 7 hours.
Depending
It's in
on,
the
it
Alana Pierce
depends.
did it.
He did it. Yep.
There are several people that have done it. Not every planet is the same distance
Right,
from
of
the other
course.
planet. So
Of course.
depending on what planet and what moon you're trying to get to, yeah, you
But
can absolutely do it. The time frame's
realistic,
going to
right?
vary.
And,
Very realistic without the hyperspeed
um,
jump.
so Starfield was actually made on the the creation engine 2,
Yeah.
that creation system, and that's actually Bethesda's newest one. But Bethesda has come out and said that they're thinking about switching to Unreal Engine 5 for the next Elder Scrolls.
I hope they do because Unreal 5 is they should have used Unreal 5 for
Not
this, to be
again.
honest.
I think they had already started before Unreal 5 had
I think
really.
so too. And they
Yeah.
just went ahead and
Yeah.
finished up with what they were using, which was probably the smart move because we probably wouldn't have got this game for another 3 or 4 years.
When you're trying to transition all that data over to to Unreal would have been unreal. Uh,
Literally, yeah. So,
so
with your
yeah,
experience so far, how do you see this game working out for you?
um, if I'm lucky, uh, I mean, because like right now, I've still haven't really hit into. I've been playing this just as long as you have, but with the exception of the fact that you've actually like gotten in more hours than I have. Like I've had it for as long as you have, but you've gotten in more hours.
Yeah.
Um, I fully expect, like, I mean, because of like how I've been playing, I haven't even really messed with the main quest line. I've done all of 3 of the main quest deals, like getting off the mining colony, getting to there, doing the first mission with the chick, and then that was it. I was just like, yeah, I'll come back to you guys. I got some stuff I got to go do.
Yeah.
And so, and then like I went and did stuff, and that's what I've been doing. I've literally like I got into the United Colonies sysdef thing with the Crimson Fleet.
Hmm.
Like I got into that whole thing in the dumbest way possible. Like I grabbed a soccer ball trying to move it because it was a busted soccer ball. I was trying to move it out of the way so I could play soccer, and because I grabbed it and picked it up and didn't like put it in my inventory, I just literally used the A button, held it down, and picked it up. But because it was not my ball, it was literally just a busted piece of trash.
Yeah.
But because it was not my ball, I was stealing it. And then yeah, so then they made me all of a sudden I was surrounded by freaking 4 UC guys. Hey, you're trying to steal something.
Yeah.
And then they started coming after me, man. Like they were like, "Oh yeah, but we're not going to take you to jail. We're going to take you up to the UC vigilance. You're going to do some stuff for us." And I'm sitting there going, "Okay, now you trying to sound like you." um, let me see. Tulip's asking about what did everyone choose for their background and traits. Okay,
um.
so my character,
Hmm.
uh, I believe, has the professor background, and the traits that I chose were the kid stuff, where I had my parents. I chose the wanted feature, where I was where I have bounty hunters coming after me every so often. And the third one was the taskmaster is the one that I chose, which is basically like I get more efficient crew members, but I have to pay double the price for them,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Bacon, do you remember what you did?
My background's bounty hunter.
Okay.
Mm.
My traits, I don't particularly remember at this point. I started, so I actually technically started twice.
Right.
because I kind of want to see, what each trait would do. I didn't know if you'd be able to see right out the gate. I did the annoyed fan one or whatever it was, the fan that followed you around.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then I ended up watching a video saying, if you're gonna get annoyed by that and just end up trying to murder him anyway, don't do it. And I was like, okay, well, not doing that. Um, I think I did the parents one, where you have to send your parents 2% of your weekly income,
Yeah.
Which I
and you
think
can visit them and they visit you, whatever. I don't remember what the other ones.
I know I
Well,
had
I did
the
one. I did one of the religion ones,
one of the religion. Yeah.
like the raised enlightened, or I think that is
raised,
that one.
enlightened,
I
or
think I did
raised,
that.
sanctified, or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Universal
Um,
Sanctum.
That one.
It was that one. It was the
That's the one I
universal.
did.
It was the raised universal or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frodo, what was your background and traits?
Let's see. My background was a bounty hunter. I was wanted. I was raised Sanctum.
You're a bounty hunter and you were wanted.
Yeah, that's what that
That's
was.
Yeah.
Got me whenever he did
Oh,
it, I was like,
That is
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
yeah, that was him.
I did it
And
too.
fuck, what was my
Everybody
other
wanted
one?
to be a bounty hunter. Good grief, man! I was the only one that said I'm gonna be a professor.
Hello.
And I remember on my stream character, I chose the one where you had your own home
Oh
far
yeah,
away or
the
whatever. I
500
had
credits
that
a
one.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as far as the third trait for my main one that I've been playing, I can't
Oh
remember
boy,
what
He
it
was
is at the moment.
Ronin. I
yeah,
thought
my
about
boy Phil
Ronin,
was that
man. Just
Ronin man.
So
ooh.
I did the wanted background, and I had the Ronin trait, the wanted trait, and I think my other one was the solo trait because I prefer to run by myself most times. Oh no, I had the alien gene. That's what it was.
Ooh.
I went with the alien gene, and that one actually kind of worked itself out pretty well.
Isn't that one that you had more health in O2, but you get less from consumables?
Yeah, that kind of bit me
Yeah.
in the ass. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, because like the health stuff doesn't even really help you anyway. Like
At all, dude.
even if you don't have
I
the alien
burned
trick.
through health packs and inhalers like they're going out of style.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was
um,
something.
there's a way you can change all the traits, right?
yeah, so there's actually a doctor that you can go to that I believe is on New Atlantis. You can actually go in
Yeah.
there and pay for gene therapy and
Oh.
It's in
the traits changed.
So
They
can
have
you
this
do
thing
like?
called
mass.
it's
It's in
called
the
Can you
master
change
trait.
your looks and change your like everything, or
Yep.
just traits?
Yep.
enhance.
That's
Enhance is
a
the place that it's called. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
they have it across like 3 or 4 different planets.
Yeah, and
All the major
as
systems and
far as
stuff.
changing your hair and facial features and all that, that's a completely different doctor.
Oh, okay.
Completely different. You actually get a mission from him. He's one of the first doctors you run across on New Atlantis. If you do the mission for him, I think you get a discounted rate. He doesn't do any free work for you, but you get a discounted rate.
The longest I played was I got Sarah in my party, and we literally took off in the ship, and we're
Right,
headed toward.
you're pretty
Yeah,
much on your
I
way to the
literally just
galaxy.
got Sarah.
Yeah.
I got to that
Now,
point, but then I was like, oh, I still haven't done an outpost yet. So I've been trying to do an outpost to
yeah.
farm some iron, and yeah.
Well,
I
actually,
am
we were about to
super
get to
early in
you,
the game,
Frodo.
guys.
I know you started when it dropped on Game Pass.
Yep.
How's your experience with it been so far?
Well, you and Corvus know about my two recent issues
Yeah.
that I've been having with it. But other than those two, so far it's been great. And from what I've seen on like TikTok and Facebook of people doing the shipbuilding stuff, holy crap!
Now, have
But
you done a lot with the
dear God,
shipbuilding?
I've seen some. No, I've not done any. Like I said, I did enough in the story to get me to New Atlantis. I was like, okay, well, let me find out where my sanctum is that I can go to. Let's see if anything happens there. Nothing. Okay. Oh, wait. We're gonna be in space. I need to up my piloting. I know there's a pilot simulator, so I went and mastered my piloting skills, which took forever. And
Yeah.
then after that, I finally went to the lodge, did that. I told Sarah to stay there because I wasn't finished, and that's about as far as I got. But currently trying to do an outpost to farm for iron, aluminum, and beryllium.
Okay, and
Uh,
so overall, are you saying? Would you say that the game has been what you expected? Has it been a letdown in any way for you personally?
uh, I say it's about right on par of what I was expecting. I think it might be better if I wasn't having the issues that I'm having right now.
Right, which I
Cause
know
I,
you're having some of the same issues that I was, or
well,
currently am.
yeah, and apparently it's common for the consoles
Yeah,
to have loading and saving issues, in which I've been dealing with, and there have been results of uninstalling it and then reinstalling it, and sometimes it fixes it, sometimes it doesn't.
yeah,
But it's weird how the first couple of days that I played it didn't have this issue, and then last night all of a sudden it just happened.
right. Red, I'm glad you actually brought that up. So I've got the most hours in on this game. I'm well over, I think I'm over 80 hours into the game now. Um, I've played it all the way through one time. I'm already on my first gameplay plus, and you say you're worried about Bethesda doing the heavy handed lead you through the campaign thing. My initial playthrough up to the point before New Game Plus, um, I kept forgetting about the campaign. Like it wasn't forcing me to do anything. Hey, what's up, Olaf? We're not going to bed. You're as nerdy as we are, you wouldn't be here. That being said, like I said, I got into the game and I wanted to run the campaign first because everything that I had seen said, you can do all this stuff on the side, but the game really doesn't open up until after you finish the campaign. And I was already a good 3, 4, maybe 5 hours into the game before I realized, crap, I haven't even started the story yet. So I went ahead and tried to run on just the campaign, but I kept having these squirrel moments where I was like, ooh, shiny, ooh, shiny, ooh, shiny. And I kept getting distracted. And the worst part about it is on day one of the release, on the early release, I saved these miners from something and I told them that I would transport them somewhere. 2 real life days later, I'm still playing the game. And I get on my ship and I see somebody that I don't recognize sitting on my ship. So I went to talk to them. And it pops up with minor, something sister minor. And she says, I can't wait to get home. I went, oh shit, these people have been on my ship for 2 whole days of me playing this because I forgot to drop them off. So these guys had been through dogfights with me. They watched me rob a bank freighter. They watched me rob a casino. They watched me fight pirates and spacers for 2 whole days before
been
I even
killing.
realized they were there. And they were just like, yeah, we can't wait to get home. Like, you got to be kidding me. So, my experience so far, I have absolutely loved this game. It's as far as Bethesda games goes, this has been a very impressive game to me. It has its glitches, it has its bugs, yes. I'm a little disappointed that the vast majority of the bugs that we're used to having aren't there, but some of the funny ones are still there. Corvus got to watch it on. I did a 12-hour stream, and
Yeah.
during the 12-hour stream, Vasco, the robot that you start off with as a companion at the beginning of the game, was riding my ship like a hood ornament. For some reason, the layout of my ship wouldn't allow him to get inside of it, so he just got on the hood of the ship, and every time I take off, you'd see him standing on the front nose of my ship. But I went all the way through the campaign, and I constantly rabbit trailed and went and did other stuff. Um, on the New Game Plus, I'm not going to give anybody any spoilers here, but they say New Game Plus has this amazing twist, and the twist on it is explained to you as you're starting your next playthrough. it truly is a phenomenal twist, because that twist at the end of your first run is going to be another twist at the end of your second run and your third run and your fourth run and your fifth run. You're never going to have the same experience with every plus playthrough you do, which I'm absolutely looking forward to getting through this first game plus play and getting to my second one, because there's perks that go along with something that you get that increase every time you go through another plus play on it. Yeah, I would have been very disappointed if it had absolutely no bugs. And we were talking about this the other night, actually. I haven't thought of the game in 3 years. Fair enough.
God damn it.
Well,
One
here
of the
you
things
go.
that
Well,
we had
Yeah.
talked about the other night was, it's sad that we actually hold Bethesda as gamers. We hold Bethesda to the standard of, if it's not buggy, it's not Bethesda.
Yep.
Now, there's not nearly as many bugs as there were in previous Bethesda games. They've actually, in my personal opinion, I think they've got about half the number of bugs that they usually release a game with.
I ran into one today.
Which one?
I ran into one it was a clipping bug basically, where I was like on my ship and it was docked with the vigilance,
Mm-hmm.
and like as I'm like trying to walk towards like from the docking clamp like up to my cockpit, I kind of noticed that there's a ship engine just kind of in my ship,
Yeah.
like dangling right in front of me, just- and I was like, that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah. Well, see, Bosco, aside from writing as a hood ornament for me on multiple occasions, every now and then I'll find him like halfway through my floor
Oh,
on between levels. Like I'll see his upper body in on this level, and then I'll go down to do something in my ship, and I'll see his
I've
feet hanging through the
I've
ceiling.
seen a few cups in the floors.
the first time I got
Uh,
to New Atlantis, I actually, when I was talking to the ship modifier guy, the guy who, like, used to buy ships and stuff,
Yeah,
in the background, when I was talking to him in the background, there was an NPC walking around in T pose, just levitating.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, the
That's the only one I've
Flipping
seen
biggest,
so
bugs,
far.
flipping bugs are there.
I actually
They've gotten some game breaking bugs where they've got like I say game breaking, but like like the ones where like people have found a way to like go up underneath like the city itself and
yeah,
yep.
found
they
like the
those
The
out
chests
of
and all
vendor
bounds
chest and all
areas.
that. Yep.
yeah, the vendor chests and all that. That's like got everybody's inventory.
Yeah,
So like it's really interesting how that they're doing that in
most of those
uh
are on
Well,
PC. I haven't been able to do any of those on
yeah.
console yet.
They did. I did see a TikTok of one guy who was like, "Oh, wouldn't be Bethesda without piece of the floor missing," and he just falls right in,
Yeah,
looks underneath. Okay, boost pack back out.
yeah. Well, I did have that particular bug. I was in the, I think it's called the Star for the pirates. I was walking out. I went through the door and I was heading to my ship, and all of a sudden I'm falling through the same frame just repeatedly. Thankfully, it auto saves whenever you walk through a door, so I just reloaded it and I was no longer falling. But that was a little weird to just falling ever
Yeah,
continuously through the same screen. Like I'd literally just come through from the ceiling
I
repeated
have been falling
for
for
yeah.
30
30 minutes.
minutes. I probably could have walked away from the game, did whatever I needed to do, came back, and I'd have still been going through that same thing.
I actually seen a TikTok today. Guy was playing Starfield and he was going through a building with bad guys. And he's trying to sneak through. Goes around a corner and all of a sudden, one of the enemies comes up from the floor, straight underneath from the floor. Just looks at him. You're detected. He's detected. He's like, "Whoa, what?"
Yeah.
He
Uh,
Cody Rhodes you.
there's a
He's
guy
all up
that
there.
has the adoring fan for his, and the adoring
Adoring
fan's on
fan.
his ship. He's leaning up against the table, and he starts giving a speech, and he's slowly sinking like the ship from Pirates of the Caribbean through the floor. And he looks up at him as he's going through the floor. Is it going to be another great adventure? Are we going to continue on into the city? And then he just kind of fades off into the floor. I'm like, That's a
I'll let
worthy
you.
glitch.
That's creepy. I
That's a
like that.
glitch I want to see.
I actually had it. I actually had one early on where I was just started off. I think it was for my stream account or a personal one. I can't remember. But when you go fight the Crimson Fleet captain, did everybody just
Yeah.
freeze?
No,
No.
You froze.
it's probably just you.
Oh,
Yep.
you did.
Oh, now he's gonna go out again.
It was nice knowing you, sir.
Oh, absolutely. They definitely. Bethesda has probably one of the most unique
Oh, starting to get better.
audiences ever. Because if you're a Bethesda fan, if you're someone who sticks with Bethesda games, you know what to expect on the bad end from Bethesda. And you've
Getting
grown used to it being there. So when they drop something like this, where we don't have these unreal bugs that just make the game unplayable, we're ecstatic about it, and we're loyal. Because of those. They're quirky bugs that we get, like the random tumbling enemy or the tumbling horse. Uh,
If 76 is the worst Bethesda's put out, I'm fine with that.
right, and so far 76 really is the worst game they've ever put out.
Because you go back and look, I can't speak for Fallout 1 and 2. I never played those, but from 3 on, like, loved them.
Yeah,
Like, loved them. And then also, of course, Elder Scrolls.
yeah.
I've played that since probably Morrowind. That's
Yeah.
the first one I played.
I've
And
played
then I
every
played
Bethesda game
Oblivion
there
a
is.
lot.
Yeah,
I don't know if I played the full Morrowind. I know I finished the story. I don't know if I put too much time into it though.
yeah,
All right.
But I played Oblivion
Let's see
an
how long this
oblivion amount of times.
yeah.
I was about to
Uh,
say Oblivion is pretty much one of the only games that I've ever freaking 100%ed.
yeah,
Like,
I've
like
I've
done so much.
100% of
And
that
then
one.
Skyrim, of course.
I 100% in Skyrim, and I've got probably 2,000 plus hours into Skyrim because I've played it on console, I've played it on PC, I've played it
Haven't
modded
quit.
on console, modded on PC. I can't tell you how many different types of characters and the hundreds and hundreds of mods that I've gone through with all my different playthroughs, which I cannot wait for all the Star Wars mods to hit for
I keep
Starfield.
I keep Skyrim loaded on my Switch like at all times, just for road trips, because that's my go-to road trip game.
Yeah,
I do
it's
not touch it unless I'm like on a road trip or extended. Like if I'm somewhere for a night, like then
yeah.
I'll play it.
Yeah,
Like
Skyrim
that.
is the only game that stays installed no matter what console I have. I
Yeah.
will uninstall other games before I ever uninstall Skyrim.
If they port it to my phone, I am in trouble at work. If they port it to like
Yeah.
Android,
Yeah,
like the freaking
e-
Google Play store, I am in trouble.
right.
Me and Bruce
ESO
wouldn't get any work done.
ever. ESO for me was a personal letdown because I really
Yeah.
thought it was going to be better than what they gave us. Um, it was Elder Scrolls, but it wasn't Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
It was
It wasn't that bad.
it was like an Elder Scrolls simulator more than anything to me. It
like
it was
I
it
think
was fun to play,
them
but it
trying
wasn't one of those games I could get into and just stay playing.
I think them trying to grasp multiplayer mechanics was kind of what messed them up a little bit because they're not used to multiplayer games.
Yes, we are.
Bethesda is not used to multiplayer games.
I have literally bought every version of Skyrim that has come out, every upgrade that's come out, every DLC that came out. And I will continue to do it 20 years from
If
now if I'm
if
still
they
alive.
said if they announced tomorrow that Skyrim will be coming out on the Creation Engine 2, I would probably buy it.
I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
It's not a probably. I'm going to. And like Corvus said, I'm
hate
one of
saying that.
those. I was a broke dude. I was a very irresponsible adult, and I spent money that I should not have spent just so I could play Starfield 5 days early. I hurt my own pocketbook to keep myself entertained. Because let's be honest, if I'm not entertained, everybody around me is going to have a bad day.
No.
Yeah, I mean Aiden's over there, tapping himself in the balls
Right?
just from listening to you talk. I believe it.
So overall, guys, I mean, we've talked about the good, we've talked about the bad.
The 1 to 5 rating.
I mean, well, I mean, just to say that, just to say one more thing about it.
Yeah.
Um, moving forward, I'm really looking forward to seeing like what, if anything, that Bethesda is going to do. Because I mean, like so far, they've been listening. They've been listening whenever it came to 76, and they fixed the problems.
Yeah.
They've been listening whenever it came to ESO, and they fixed
They
those
fixed the
problems.
problems.
So if they listen to what's been said, and if they start trying to, troubleshoot and do what they need to do to make Starfield into the game that we've been wanting it to be, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do with that.
Absolutely. And I know it'll get there. I'm just hoping that it's sooner than later.
Right.
And Todd Howard came out and said, the next Elder Scrolls game is his last game that he's gonna be with the company. Like he's ready to retire. He's ready to ride off into the sunset. Which it's gonna come out in 2028.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, we still have
We've got him for a little while. Yeah.
we still have him for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Now I know Frodo's still having some connectivity issues, but
On right now, as long as my camera's off.
okay, we'll stick with your
We'll roll
audio
with it.
then.
Yeah. Yep.
We'll let you be
So
King Vegeta.
we'll
Because like y'all started going robot and started freezing, I turned my camera off and it cleared up. So leave it
Majin
like it is.
Vegeta is fine.
Victory,
Yes,
Paul
it's my
Vegeta.
favorite Vegeta.
So they've already
Yeah.
said that mod support is coming to Starfield. They haven't specified how soon, but it
So
is going to happen. And there was actually a modder. It was the clutter mod for Skyrim. The modder that made that Bethesda hired, and they're the ones that did all the clutter for Starfield. So they were actually able to get a job from what they did. Now, hopefully, Bethesda will do the smart thing, and since 90% of their games are moddable anyway, I hope they start looking at some of the mods that are coming out, especially some of the mods that have recently come out for Skyrim, and offer those modders jobs with Bethesda. Those modders are going to make Bethesda games even more than what they already are. They're going to make those games more desirable simply by going, hey, we're gamers.
Good night, Blue.
Hi, Blue.
Later, Olaf.
I was just is that no, well, Olaf's one thing, but Blue's
Oh,
there.
he changed it to Big Blue.
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
Okay.
the big red nerd.
The
So,
fucking
gentlemen,
Ronin.
we're gonna start with the faceless Frodo over here. On a scale of 1 to 5, what would you give Starfield? Oh no, did we lose his audio? Oh, there he is.
No,
Please.
it did for a second until you asked that.
And then your volume's like, I'm gonna get yelled at. Come back on.
Yeah.
He's using his dad
Before it goes
voice.
out again. Before it goes out again, given on my limited play time so far, I give it about a 4,
About a 4?
a solid 4. Only because I'm experiencing a few bugs that are preventing me from saving or loading or entering my own ship.
Yeah. All right. Bacon?
So this is gonna be controversial. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 for now because I'm only 2 hours in. I can't. I know I'm gonna play this game for a while, but I really haven't seen much, and that's the thing. And you were talking about the save issues, all the bugs. We've come to expect bugs with Bethesda. That's fine. I I can't go above 3.5 because I don't have much to base on.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And like I said, I'm 10 hours in. I've barely even got anything done yet.
Yeah.
If I acted like this was a demo, let's say like a 2-hour demo, I mean I'd probably let it slide to a 4.
All right.
Mm.
But based off
I
of the
haven't even scratched the surface.
yeah,
Of anything.
not even close.
Yeah.
Corvus, what would you give it on a 1 to 5?
I'm gonna say right now, I'm gonna say 4.5. 4.5.
Four and a
I
half.
could see myself giving it a 5 one day, or 4.5 to 5 one day. There's nothing to go on from
Yeah.
that.
Well, yeah, and the only reason I'm saying 4.5 is because, like I said, I mean, I'm always holding out for expectations, man. I can't just say if I ever give a game a 5, it's gonna be one of those days. Like it better be like fucking pristine in every imaginable conceivable way. I can't
Absolutely.
even think. I can't think of a game right now that I would give a 5, like a 5 out of 5.
Me either. Not
I
yet.
can't. I mean, there's some really amazing games out there that I played the shit out of, but
Yeah.
just trying to say that I'm gonna, give a game a 5 out of 5. It seems like the only thing that I could really ever say that I'd do anything like that with would be it wouldn't even be on a gaming system. It would be it would be like our tabletop shit. Like the stuff that we dream up.
Journey to Astera, 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
See, I'd rather like
St. Corvus, 5 out of 5.
1 to 10 rating system for this.
Dang, Corvus, who's
Like,
that?
Nah. So me myself, I'm
that
with
way I can just give it
Corvus.
the old IGN 7 out of 10.
Right. I'm with Corvus on this. I've got, like I said, over 80 hours into the game. I'm still going to go with maybe a 4.5 on it. As good as I think the game is, I think they still could have done better. There was a lot of stuff that they told us we'd be able to do that we can't do. Simple things that we were fully expecting just weren't there. And that kind of hurt it for me in the short term, but not in the long term because I got over it pretty quickly, obviously. But yeah, I think a 4.5 is fair on it. And once the mod support hits, I'm still not going to go to a 5 on it. I think 4.8 is probably the highest I'm going to go unless they somehow miraculously just slam in something that blows my mind.
Yeah. The other thing that I'm thinking is going to be necessary is them fixing some of that user interface. Um,
Yeah.
the mods, like the ability to modify your own equipment and things like that. Um, some of that stuff, and I probably there might be some perks and stuff that I don't have yet that might be why I'm not able to do it. But there's some stuff in there that I feel needs to be more accessible or
Yeah.
more easily done in the game.
Yeah. Well, you got to make sure to go to the
I haven't
research
tried to
station.
modify anything yet.
Yeah, you have to do modifications to be able to because to rank up a skill, you have to do all the stuff for the
Do
skill
something
to get to
short.
the next
Yep.
rank.
And spend skill points to rank them up.
Right, but
Which
you can't even spend the skill point if
or
you haven't done
the
the
re-
the
Yeah.
necessary things for that skill. For example, weapon modification. If you don't actually go in and do any weapon mods, you won't even be able to put a skill in the next rank of it. You have to do
Right.
the mods before you can apply the
4 or 5
next level.
before you get
It's
standard.
like the
Yeah,
paladin skills.
15.
You have to destroy 5 ships, rank that up, destroy 15, rank that up, destroy 30.
30, rank
Then you're
that
master.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they had the right idea with that, but I think only allowing you one skill point and having to do all that was going a little too far. I think they do need to streamline that a little bit better. I do
Yeah.
agree that the accessibility to stuff needs to be a little bit more fine tuned. Because some stuff, like for example, one of the missions that I'm currently on, I picked up a mission where I'm supposed to go survey a planet. I have all the flora found. I've discovered everything. I have unlocked all the biomes. I found all 3 hidden things. I have 3 out of 4 of the fauna, the the creatures. I can't find the 4th creature anywhere on this fucking planet. And I have literally spent 6 hours running around like a chicken with its head cut off on this stupid planet, and I cannot find a 4th species of creature on this damn planet.
Yeah,
Here's the thing.
mapping and waypoint stuff and all that stuff would be another really good thing to
We need
update.
a mini map.
I noticed that you can scan the fauna and all that on the second planet, the first planet you go to go after the Crimson Fleet captain. I was like, oh, you can actually scan the fauna and everything here. So let me go scan the little crab-like little deal on the ground.
Yeah. Now I
Wouldn't let
love
me
how they
scan them.
did that
And then
because
the stalker wouldn't let me scan it. I'm like, but
yeah,
they should be considered fauna. It's
but it
life.
wasn't for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah. It
Now,
wouldn't even let me scan the giant tree archers that you can harvest.
now on other planets, the stalkers, if the stalker shows up, they are part of the fauna. But for some
Yeah,
reason in that area, they aren't.
like
That's so weird.
some of that stuff, like especially if you fight it, it considers it scanned. Like depending on how many you've killed.
Yeah,
Like because basically it
Oh,
considers that like
it's an auto scan,
well it
yeah.
essentially.
considers that you're discovering everything you need to know about it because basically you just blew it apart. So so that must be where its arm is. Like
Yeah,
that's
unless you
what it
do
kind of
like I
comes down
did and
to.
one shot it with an old Earth shotgun.
I mean, so, but I mean, like, basically, you're sitting there and you're looking at its viscera and everything kind of splayed out over the wall, and you're like, yeah, I can pretty much tell where everything is, and so it considers it 100%.
That's definitely a
So,
kidney.
and so that kind of thing comes up. But like, other planets, whenever you go to those other planets, even if you're seeing that same creature on that other planet, it considers it a whole brand new fauna for you to have to
Yeah.
scan and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So okay, so the
Tell you what, the
overall. Go ahead and say what you got
the
to say, and then
cutter
we're going to jump to the
actually,
next topic.
yeah, the cutter actually makes some quick work on some of the lower enemies when you first start out.
Oh, absolutely.
I've noticed that.
Mhm.
Like it rips through their shields if they have it. Like it's not even there. Bad part is you have to be close range.
Yeah.
You see, Tulip brings up one more point that I think we kind of need to talk about real quick. VATS. How they have VATS in the Fallout system and how like it's kind of missing from this game. Yes and no.
Yeah. I never use
Personally,
the VATS.
I
like
did.
I never did.
I use the ever loving shit out of
Yeah,
that.
Like
Fallout 3, I
Fallout
used that. More
3
that at
and New
4.
Vegas, I did, but 4, no.
Yeah.
Four. I just love that shit
Yeah,
too
I
much.
use it in 3 a lot.
I was like, let me get that headshot. Let me get that headshot. Let me get that headshot.
And there's nothing better than
Um,
that sound when it zooms
Yeah,
in, when it does the zoom in. That's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, it was cool, but for me, it was annoying for me more than it was helpful.
yeah. Well, in some
What?
cases, yes, but like for me, but the thing is that in this game, your person doesn't necessarily do it, but your ship's targeting system, you
Yeah.
can target other
yeah,
ships
Yep.
and
Yeah.
stuff, so it works in that same,
yeah, it's
And
that's
that's
kind
helpful.
of way.
actually a perk that you can get too.
Yeah.
That you
Hmm.
can rank up in.
Yeah.
Targeting systems, it's a thing.
Yep.
So it does kind of happen, but it just doesn't happen on your person because you don't have the Pit Boy and therefore you don't have VATS.
Yeah.
So anybody use the first person or third person?
Oh, third person.
I do third person
Unless
flight.
I'm in direct combat, I
I
switch.
go back and forth.
Yeah, I
In
do a
direct
little
combat, I
bit, but
switch
I
to
mainly
first.
stay in first. I
Yeah,
mainly
mainly.
stay in
Mhm.
first thanks to Cyberpunk. It got me so used to the first person.
So outside of combat in the city, doing roaming around, I stick to third, and then when I go in combat, I switch to first.
I'm
Yeah.
third person all the way, regardless of if I'm in combat or walking around. Third person just works for
The
me.
the Call of Duty player in me won't allow that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
I,
overall on this one, then we got 4 from Frodo. We got 4.5 from me and Corvus. We got a 3.5 from Bacon. What are we calling this one? A 3.8?
Or
You could go 4 because
Call it a
my
4?
yeah, because it's gonna end up at least a 4 for me. I already know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't have time with it. Like I just
Yeah, right now.
yeah.
All right. So that's going to wrap up the section of us talking about Baldur's Gate 3 and talking about Starfield. So let's do the short and sweets of Bacon. What game are you looking forward to that's coming up?
There are a few games I'm looking forward to. You want me to just go ahead and rattle off a few?
Yeah, give
And
us your top 2 choices for the ones that are coming
my top 2 choices. Oh man. All right.
out.
Well, of course we have Marvel Spider-Man 2 coming out in October.
Hmm.
It comes out a couple days before my birthday, and I am highly debating on taking um, a sick day. I might be sick that day. I don't know. We'll see.
Watch it. Greg might have heard that.
And then there's also a little game called Mortal Kombat 1 coming out that I am also very excited for.
Right, right.
They're soft rebooting it, which to them I don't know what that. I know what it means. It means they're basically continuating it, but they're just refreshing it.
Yeah.
But I'm still excited. It looks great. It looks amazing.
Alrighty. Corvus, what ones are
So,
you looking forward to?
but
The-
okay.
but
Okay, so here's the thing though, is like he said Mortal Kombat 1 and I'm just sitting here crying softly to myself because I'm sitting there going, but they have already fucking had this.
Yep, like twice.
They're remaking these
Twice.
games
Twice.
so much. It is killing me, dog. It is killing me.
You still buy it.
Please just stop, guys. Do something original, but at the same time, yay, they're bringing back Mortal Kombat like it's all new, but it's not.
Yeah,
It's all new, but
But
it's
it's
not.
new, but it's
but
not.
it's not.
Also another one that I'm going to be
Glad if
getting.
they bring back the free roam RPG style like they had in Mortal Kombat Armageddon.
Yeah.
If they brought
Oh,
that back, I'll be in for it. Or even Shaolin.
Shaolin Monks was fun.
Yes.
If they did a game like that
yeah.
again, oh man, that is what they need.
Oh, we can get
Um,
lost in that
Yes.
debate for hours.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
Also,
we'll save that for a topic night.
there's a game that released
Should not
already.
be.
NBA 2K24. I will be purchasing. I will be playing. Debating on streaming. I don't know yet. The
And
micro portion
for
of
those of
that.
you in the chat, you can catch Bacon Strips every Monday night on Twitch for his streams.
Absolutely. It won't be
Corvus,
this Monday for sure, but
yeah.
who knows?
Right.
Corvus,
And I'll
what are
be playing
yours?
2K24.
So we kind of touched on this a little bit already. Cyberpunk's newest little DLC that they've got coming up, or like uh, Bacon Strips was talking about with um basically it's the Idris Elba game. Um,
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be Phantom Liberty, uh, which I would love to just play the crap out of if I can manage to find. I might have to go digging for more change again. Um, that's what it's coming down to. I'm basically just gonna have to start robbing myself
No
and
fun
paying
for
for
me,
these
man.
games. Yeah, somebody like if you guys want to start up a GoFundMe for like the
Right.
poor disabled guy, that would be really nice of you. Uh, no, I'm kidding. I'm joking. That's a total joke.
No, it's not.
Help me entertain myself and keep me from being really really sad.
Help us
Um,
entertain you with him.
basically, yeah,
I
because
think I just
Great.
pimped you out.
I'll be appreciating a great one.
Guys, it's only
all of my
2,000
No fund me
pesos.
for
Come
the
on.
game, loser.
kiss my ass. Um, but yeah, Phantom Liberty seems like it's going to be an amazing expansion. Really gives you a chance to go back and to get yourself like get your character that you put in all this time with Cyberpunk 2077, getting back into that character, like putting on a good old suit after you haven't worn it for a while, and like man, you're like man, this feels good. You know, I like this. Because it's gonna get you back into that, and then they're adding so many cool options that they've got coming along with it, with the additional like weapons on your vehicles,
Hmm.
weapon firing from your vehicles, like being able to do that like while you're driving. Like I always thought that was really cool, like how you can do it from the passenger seat and being able to like get out the car and shoot from the car and all that stuff. Like you're able to handle your drive-bys, but it didn't give you the option to really do it as you were driving,
Yeah.
and they're
They
adding it in there now.
they decided not to take a note from GTA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
aside from the Cyberpunk, what other game are you looking forward to?
Oh, to be honest, I'm really digging hard into Starfield. That's pretty much all I've really got going. Not really seeing too. Maybe like whenever Fable rolls around, that's
Ooh,
gonna
excited
be.
about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
There's
gonna
Payday
be.
3.
Yeah,
Yep.
and that's
That's
going to be
another
really
one.
fun for our little purposes, like
Yeah,
for
we can do that.
what we
Yeah.
do.
Payday 3 is going to be dropping very soon, by the way, so you can look forward
I
to
already
it.
got it pre-downloaded.
So do I. That's actually one I think we're all going to be doing. Friday nights, you can catch all four of us together doing a group stream.
Kindred. Kindred, what game are you looking forward to? I'm glad you asked. I'm most excited for Alan Wake 2, coming out October 27th. Fingers
Oh,
crossed.
Believe it or
absolutely
not,
need
I
to
was
play that.
actually going to ask at the end of all of this what everybody in the chat was looking forward to. So I'm
Yeah.
glad you jumped the gun on that.
Thanks a lot, Kindred. We appreciate you being here, man. So yeah,
The
that
day
all of
before,
that.
yeah, day before looks like a good
Yeah.
one too.
Man, the day before might not be a real game though.
I know that's the only that's the only problem.
Yeah, that company
Basically?
has burned us before. That development company has burned us before. Yeah,
Okay.
there's a heavy rumor that it's not even real,
Yeah.
Kind of
or
like
that it's not as far along as they
So
say.
let's
kind
hop
of like
over.
3A Studios.
Yeah, something like that. Let's hop over to Frodo. Frodo, what are your top two?
Well, Aaron's already said two of them: Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty, Fable, because Jay can, swear up and down. Me and him's both Fable fans.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I've played all three of them so many countless times. And then I'm also me being the racing nerd here. I'm waiting for Forza Motorsport. They got a new one coming out soon. I can't wait for that one.
You said it's a new Forza
It's
Motorsport?
yeah, it's just a motorsport.
Okay.
No eight. So I think they're if I'm not mistaken, they're pretty much building off of like kind of seven, but they're building off of that and making it more of a motorsport, like more of a bigger simulation, trying to compete with Assetto Corsa.
Okay.
Because right now Assetto Corsa, that is the game to play besides Car X drifting.
I
Yeah.
mean, Gran Turismo's still pushing out games too.
It is,
Yeah,
but
but they're kind of falling off right now.
yeah.
They're
Now, if you
I've
guys,
played it, I've beat it, I was not impressed.
yeah, if you guys want to catch Frodo, you can catch him on Tuesday nights for his single stream. Uh, so you'll be able to have Bacon every Monday, Frodo every Tuesday, Corvus every Thursday.
Which right now I'm doing Baldur's Gate. By the way,
Baldur's Gate 3, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty much Starfield across the board with the three of us.
Yeah.
Wednesday nights we have the Journey to Astera live D&D with myself, Frodo, and Corvus, along with two guest stars. We have Go Hex's Gaming and we have Hololock. So if you're into D&D and you want to watch that, check us out on Wednesday nights. Myself, as far as games that I'm looking forward to, and I'm surprised you didn't bring this up, Corvus, Star Wars Outlaws. Star Wars Outlaws. We're finally going to get a game where we play as the smuggler, the thief,
And
the the irresponsible adult that we all are.
Man, I don't know. I want to play as another Jedi. I don't.
There, hey,
There's
don't
not
get me
enough
wrong.
Jedi games. There's not enough games where you have a lightsaber.
That's why I'm actually looking forward to this one because
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
sure there is going to be lightsabers in it that you could probably pick up off of somebody, but I'm looking forward to it for the simple fact that we're finally getting a rogue character
in an
in
open
in an
world.
open world setting for Star Wars of all
Gimme.
games. Star Wars.
I
Now
want to get caught smuggling something weird.
my number 2 game is going to be Skull and Bones. I've been following this game. I am hoping that they actually pick me for the beta because I've signed up for it like 2 years ago. Yes, I am definitely the pick me guy for this because Skull and Bones is the pirate game that Sea of Thieves tried to be, but never became.
Right, because it went the cartoony route,
Yeah.
and then they tried to bring it back, but
Correct. We're all Necroton Knights. We're a collective streaming group. Individually, we stream separate streams on different nights of the week. We all come together for the podcast. We have the Wednesday night. There's three of us that are in the D&D because unfortunately Bacon hasn't been in from the start on this particular campaign. But when we get another one rolling, he'll definitely be involved. And then Friday nights we stream as a group and pick a random game. Like last night, we did a game called Rubber Bandits.
gosh, dude,
Absolutely amazing game. It's a great party game, loads of fun, always has nice little twists in it. and it's just a good time. It's a great stress reliever, and that's kind of what we go for on Friday nights. Now, like I said,
How long
Payday
did we
3.
play?
Oh my
They were
god.
taking out some unchecked
For
aggression
over
on
2
me.
hours.
Like it
Uh,
was bad.
yeah, it was
Okay, we
unchecked
played that long,
for 2 hours and
and we
didn't even
didn't even
realize
go.
it.
Yeah, we didn't even go through all the maps yet.
Haven't even gone through all the maps, and there's
It
over
was
30
like
maps.
30 maps and 8 different modes for each one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it is nuts.
Um. But yeah.
But I really do think they had
There,
Backtracking.
some
there,
aggression they were
there's a
working
lot
on.
of time whenever one of us is streaming that others are kind of there helping, like kind of in the
Yeah.
chat, kind of helping commentate, kind of helping,
Or
I
moderate.
guess,
Yeah.
moderate or just joining in audio wise, having fun, like watching and just
Oh, he's not left out of D&D.
yeah.
He's over here at the house every other Sunday with Frodo
Yeah.
playing D. I'm not
Yep.
in that D&D game.
Oh,
They just use my
I'm
table.
just I'm just not in their I'm just not in their digital D&D
Yeah, he's
game.
just not in
One that they
the
do.
he's just not in the Wednesday night one, but that's one that was already up and running, and I've already got 4 people, and that's kind of a handful when you're live streaming it, having more than 4. But backtracking back to Skull and Bones, the game looks absolutely amazing. It looks like they kind of took a touch from the Assassin's Creed Black Flag as far as the ship combat goes. The multiplayer aspect of it is going to be amazing. Um,
It looks like what Black Flag
could
like
have been as a multiplayer,
would have been as just a pirate game,
even
like without the
without the
Assassin's
Assassin's
Creed
Creed
part.
part. Yeah. So
And I love that.
that makes those two my top 2 games. Now, if you guys want to watch me on a solo stream, you can usually catch me every other Saturday, because like tonight we're doing a podcast. Next Saturday I'll be doing a live stream. Uh, so our podcast will be every other Saturday. The in betweens will be me streaming. Mirage. I'm glad that's actually a game that I'm kind of looking forward to. I've played all the Assassin's Creed games that have come out. Mirage is the only one that really hasn't piqued my interest. I don't know why either.
I'm burnt out, honestly.
I am kind of a little bit.
To an
If I if
extent,
I
yeah.
if I had to say it, I mean, like as much as I've enjoyed Assassin's Creed, I mean, even with Valhalla,
It wasn't
really,
an Assassin's Creed
it,
game though.
it didn't really touch on the assassins portion of it.
Yeah.
It was more of a war fighting kind of thing, and
It's a
to
Viking
me
game.
that
Yeah, it
that
shouldn't have been
like
Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It should have just been Valhalla. It was a great Viking game.
yeah,
It was a
uh,
great Viking game.
you
That's one
know,
I'm probably gonna wait on. I'm a big Ubisoft fan. Splinter Cell is one of my favorite franchises of all time.
Right.
Uncharted first, Splinter Cell second. I could literally tell you the exact two that are my favorites. So I'm gonna play it. There's no doubt. But I'm not as excited as I usually would be.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll
I
see.
mean, at least they're bringing it back to the assassins
To
portion
the
of it.
Assassins
Yeah, they're
portion.
bringing it back to the Assassin's portion, and I'm thankful for that. But I think because of Valhalla being more of a Viking game than an Assassin's Creed game, I think that's what turned me off to Mirage. Don't get me wrong, I love Valhalla. It's a fantastic game, but it lost the Assassin's provability, I guess you would say, to me. It just wasn't an Assassin's Creed game to me.
Right.
I mean,
Correct.
at least with Black Flag, you had like even though it was piracy at the same time, it still had
It was
the
full on
assassin.
Assassin's Creed, yeah.
Yeah.
So
But so with that being said, we're gonna wrap up tonight. Thanks for coming in and joining with us. Hopefully, you guys will come back and jump into the chat with us again. Like I said, we're gonna be streaming something Monday through Saturday every week. Monday night with Bacon, Tuesday night with Frodo, Wednesday night for the D&D, Thursday night with Corvus, Friday night with all 4 of us on some kind of group play. If Payday 3's out this week, we'll probably be on Payday 3 Friday night. If not, we'll probably be unleashing a
Rubber Bandits.
ridiculous amount of aggression on Rubber Bandits again.
Yeah.
Man,
Next Saturday, you'll have me on the live stream, and then we'll be taking Sunday off to recuperate and I would say center ourselves, but we're just going to continue being irresponsible adults. That being said, thank you so much for joining us tonight, guys. This was our first official broadcast for the podcast. We haven't come up with a name with it yet, so if you get any ideas, make sure to go check out Necroton Knight's Facebook page, and I'm going to be putting a poll on there for different title names for the podcast. We're going to let you guys do some of the voting, and we're going to take the voting into consideration for our personal votes as well.
Keep it nerdy.
Keep it nerdy. So y'all keep it nerdy. We're going to keep it irresponsible, and we will catch you guys on the next go round. We'll see you guys on Monday night.
You can't see me, but I am waving.
That's my line.